All right.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I still have to post last Friday, but I'm going to post it right after this. I'm going to post it. I'm a little behind. Um, Obviously busy, but it rained today.
Okay, it rained enough sprinkling that everyone had their jackets and everything, and
Yeah.
then 5 minutes later, my armpits were sweating.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
just clear skies and beautiful. We needed that cleanse. What was great is we still had 100 and I don't know 30 people show up.
yeah, still a good turnout for
Still a
sure.
good turnout. I had to protect. I got to remember the umbrella. But we have to protect the equipment. We don't want it to be ruined because DJ Archie does a lot bringing his equipment, and it's a vibe. People are dancing. We listen to Tony, Tony, Tony.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's funny. I put on the new Drake
Ooh,
albums,
is it
all
good?
three of them. They all sound exactly like any of his other albums.
Oh,
It's like I
okay.
don't even want to listen to that stuff anymore. I'd rather just
Yeah,
like go straight for the 90s, straight
yeah.
for the
The
80s.
old. Well, and plus, I feel like nowadays it's all AI anyway. So
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Seriously.
um,
We want some drums and we want some bass.
we
We
want
want
a
some
beat.
instruments.
We want a beat. We want like a human element to it.
Which is why I'm going to go to Fiesta del Sol tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll be there for the ABBA cover band and then
Ooh,
whoever's after them.
nice. Reggae bands.
Yeah,
There's
Common
a Common
Sense.
Sense. Love Common Sense. We'll be there. We'll see you there. Hopefully, I post this before tomorrow so that this makes sense. Otherwise, it's not gonna make sense. But oh, there goes Carol. Bye.
Bye bye.
I still love it. It's. I still do my coffees before, so set up coffee with me before, and then the had to cancel the coffee afterwards because I am having lunch with
Oh, with Greg.
Greg. Yeah, I love
See you
Greg.
later, Greg.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, this is just impactful. Kevin spoke, resonated. It kind of led into the conversation.
Totally,
So
totally.
it's perfect.
Yeah, and actually, and Yolanda spoke for the second time this week, and
Yeah.
she's got a cool, just like well-rounded idea, which is why she wrote her book.
What the yes?
Yeah, it's what the F with your finances.
Yeah.
And there's so many words that begin with F
There are.
that correlate to finances. It's funny.
Right. And a lot of it is like, but and the thing about finances, they're so personal, but they're so personal that people typically don't talk about it. They're scared of it. They don't ask the question.
Right.
They don't want to seem like they don't know, and so they just stay quiet about it, making mistakes.
So funny because she was like, so many of my friends were coming to me talking about finances for help, but she doesn't necessarily have like a traditional finance background. And that's where this all came from, was that
Yeah.
like people are so scared to address their finances, they won't go to a professional.
Right.
They'll go to their friends, they'll go to their family, but it's like, what if you don't give them the right advice?
No, yeah.
You have to start somewhere from a good foundation.
But what I like about it too is it's coming from a real foundation
Mhm.
of gathering a bunch of women that are experts in their field and then just asking those questions. And so her background is she's a Air Force veteran, right?
Mhm.
And so you get out there and then you have access to like VA loans, things like that, but nobody ever teaches you the financials of things. So she
Mhm.
kind of figured out now she has a real estate portfolio that funds her life,
Amazing.
right? So
Rad.
it's things like that that she utilized to be able to put herself in a position where she's retired.
Mhm.
Really.
I always wonder, there's such a scope when it comes to veterans of some veterans are really really struggling financially, and some of them are, they utilized all the benefits and they were able to retire
Yeah.
and they're able to live, you know, until the end of their days off of these benefits. It's
Right.
like, where did those people get lost who didn't get those same benefits? Or maybe
Right.
they got the same benefits, they just didn't utilize them, or they didn't
Yeah.
serve long
Well,
enough.
so
What
but
is
that's
it?
the thing. No, you obviously the longer you serve, the higher your pension is. You
Hmm.
know, the VA benefits that you get. The thing about it though is that they don't necessarily they're like, here, you're retired here. Just go research it.
Mhm,
You don't
mhm.
know. A lot of people don't know that like veterans know that they can buy a house with 0% down.
Mhm. I
Imagine
know
that.
that's one of the best benefits, but also I think there are a lot of companies that almost like target
Yeah.
veterans
Well,
and then they abuse
boot camp.
that.
So typically, what you'll see on Pendleton is you're going to see a lot of people with what are those called? What are those cars? Oh, they're everywhere. Now I'm blanking out. But you see these brand new cars, and what typically happens is veterans get or not veterans, active duty. You get a bonus, and then they give you credit, for cars. What
Hmm.
they don't tell you is like 28%. Could you
Oh,
imagine buying a $40,000 car with 28% interest rates.
Gnarly.
And so they don't realize that that's why a lot of them go bankrupt and so
Mm.
on. But that's the thing. You're 18. How smart were you at 18?
Dude, I mean, by the time I was 18, I had already just had like so many
Yeah,
spirals. I had
right.
so many issues that like I'm still dealing with to this day,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So
Yeah.
I had to, after a couple stints trying to play basketball, I ended up, all right, I'm moving back to Tucson. I paid for college myself on my credit card. I built up like $58,000 because they give you credit. Boom, boom, but it's like 20 something%.
The funny thing also about college though is why do some people get into so much debt for like a special private school? It's like
Yeah.
you could literally go to a state school, you
Yeah.
could literally go to a community college,
Yes.
and you have the same degree
Yes.
as somebody who paid 100 grand a
It's
year.
changed because it used to be you have to go to a well-known accredited college to get a good job.
Mm-mm.
Now, to be honest, unless you're going to be an engineer, doctor, whatever like that, you don't need to go to a university. You don't need to go, I think it's good for the experience,
Hmm.
but to do business, to do what, you don't necessarily need it. It's
Yeah,
not required.
I know. Like if it's your entryway into a position, they often don't even care where, they don't even ask. I don't think they're
Yeah.
allowed to ask like where you went to school unless it's, what are those called? Like those kind of like generationally like
Yeah,
inherited type of
exactly.
universities.
Legacy. Their
Legacy,
legacy.
legacy. But
Yeah.
like if you're just a normal person looking to get like a baseline education, it's like you could freaking go anywhere.
No,
Just go to
exactly. Yeah.
Miracosta.
Tell me about it. It's do I use any of what I studied? No. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
I
no.
know.
It's but it was a good life experience, but it
Hmm.
put me in debt and I got out of it pretty quickly, but um yeah, you don't necessarily need it and people can choose to go to the military and
Hmm.
then that'll fund your college. You can defer it till later and go to college later. Yeah, the way things have been done in the past, it's changed. So that's part of the group is to help inspire you, support you, and give you resources to, all right, what's a better avenue. We had what's his name come today, and he's 16, and he
Oh
wants to be
yeah.
a race car driver.
Oh dude, the guy who stood up.
No, he was he was there at the end,
Oh
but he
okay.
wants to be a race car driver, and
Love
he's
it.
already racing go karts, and he's looking for sponsors and stuff
Rad.
like that. Amazing. If that's what you want to do, great.
Dude, there you go.
Have a passion for what you're doing, because what's worse is that if you're like 59 years old, 60 years old, and you're like, I'm too old to do anything else, and I'm tired, but I gotta do I did this because it paid, and you're just empty.
Yeah.
It's empty.
So Kevin Russell spoke today too, and one of the concepts is like, yes, he has a special technique of helping his clients, but it's like, how do people even know what they need? And sometimes it takes that spiraling, it takes that kind of like burnout for them to seek somebody like Kevin out or to
Yeah.
seek out a therapist or a coach or whatever. But it's like, why? Why do you have to get to that point? Why do you have to get to that like desperation point before you seek out the help? It's like,
Right.
you could hopefully spot it and be
Yeah.
aware of your like unhappiness
Yeah.
sooner than by the point where you're like, I'm gonna freak out and
Right.
move to Anza Borrego and just
Yeah.
live in a trailer.
Well, that again, that's what I think a midlife crisis is you freak out. You dye your hair, you get a motorcycle, you get a Corvette, and then you haven't been
You
working
cut
on it.
bangs.
Yeah, you bangs, yeah, you become emo. And so that's the thing, but that's why being around other people that are inspiring helps you kind of come out of that, like, oh,
Hmm.
because granted, that's how society
Hmm.
is. We're structured. We're supposed to be
Hmm.
from grade school specifically. You have to raise your hand to speak. You have
Hmm.
to be in order. You're constantly said everything's about being in order, being within that box. But when you're around people that have kind of gone through it or are going through it,
Hmm.
it inspires you to, all right, you know what? Something's not right. I want to change it. What do I need? Maybe it is business. Maybe I
Hmm.
need business help, but maybe it's breath work. Maybe it's exploring, like that one gentleman. I'm gonna do coffee with him.
Oh.
Remember he was here for, I forget what he does, but he's like, oh, he Portal. He heard about us
Oh,
at
right,
Portal.
right, right. Oh, he sells apartment
Yeah,
complexes. And he
yeah,
said, and I know it's not a sexy job. Some of those black and white
Yeah.
that's probably one of the most lucrative
Yeah.
businesses that
Well,
you
home
could get
buying is
into.
difficult now. So that is very, I mean, that's high in demand. But not only that, is that it's very structured. So
Mhm.
he's like, you know what? I'm going to search for something else. Comes to Portal, finds us. Now he probably is going to be introduced to a lot of healers that, like,
Exactly.
oh, okay. So that's the thing. A lot of people get into corporate and you have this dream of, I got to get into finance, this and that.
Mhm.
You don't, you don't, you think of like healers as, oh, woo woo.
Mhm.
For me, there's a balance. You can't be too woo, you can't be too business, but what you do realize is there's always more to the story. So why don't you discover it? Because his parents probably didn't. His grandparents probably didn't. So
Right.
now he's gonna kind of break that generational thing and find the balance.
And you never know who is going to be that person to motivate you.
Yes.
So when I was working as an associate for other chiropractors, I went and got a lymphatic drainage massage from the woman who rents from my office to this day. And she was an independent contractor doing her own thing, and she was like, why don't you open your own office?
Ah,
Somebody that
see?
I went to for a service who didn't know me before was like, why don't you do this? And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I will. And so I did. I moved into her office. We
Wow.
rented from this dude, and then a year later, now I own the office and she
See?
rents from me. But you don't know who's going to be that motivator. And
Yeah.
then I have this other patient. She started out as a patient. For whatever reason, I motivated her to essentially quit her 9 to 5 job.
There you go.
And now she is a business owner and like living what she was dreaming of
See?
for years. And it's like, who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew that person you met at the group, or who knew that person you
Yeah.
went to get a massage from was
That's
going
why
to
I
be
say
the one that
speak to
motivated you?
everyone, and people always downplay their own story and they don't realize how motivating they are.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's motivating in one way or another. So just that's why I say connect. Even if you see somebody and you're like, typically you're like, I would never talk to them. Talk to them. You never know. You never know what that how you're gonna touch them. Where maybe you're gonna inspire them or they're gonna inspire you. Who you know, who they know. There's always opportunities to self improve, and that's what the group is to try to self improve. Speaking of self improvement, our sponsor, want to thank Bubs Naturals. Look at this.
This is my favorite
Bam.
flavor.
Yes, this is I do the peptide, collagen peptide. I do the creatine. I also do the apple cider vinegar gummies.
So good.
And electrolytes every day. I used to cramp all the time. I typically try to exercise 2 to 3 times a day, try to fit it in, and I cramp all the time. But with Bubs, thank you again for
Mhm.
being a major sponsor of the group. He's sponsoring not only our podcast studio, our podcast, these talks. He's sponsoring the group in general because he's giving back to the community. And this is a major brand now. It's a local. Sean Lake,
Mhm.
thank you. It's a local brand, right? Created here, the office here, and it's all over though. And he wants to give back to the community. So again, Sean Lake, Bubs Natural,
Mhm.
thank you. Get
The
yours.
apple cider vinegar gummies, that's great for burping, like in acid reflux, especially when you're pregnant, you get acid reflux. People who just have like indigestion, and then to take shots of apple cider vinegar is
Oh, yeah.
so disgusting. But the gummies that Bubs
Makes it easy.
they taste like
It's
candy.
kind of tasty. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is. And like I said, new supply. Again, they're sponsoring. We're giving a bag to every guest, and also he's also sponsoring every month. We're giving the Community Advocate Award. Um, so next week, I'm going to give a bag of these supplies. And thank you again, Bubs Naturals, for supporting us, supporting the community. We support you. Go to their website, Bubs Naturals. Get the product. It really is worth it, and it's clean. It's super clean. So
Super
thank you.
clean. You can buy it also at Seaside Market.
It's all
I know
over.
they have a brick and
It's honestly all
mortar.
Notre Dame they sponsor, the Naval
Really?
Academy. They're all over the place. A couple Major League Baseball teams, so they're all over the place. Speaking of pregnancy, hello there. Is what's funny is every time we go up here and we kind of do the meet and greet in the beginning. I love hearing people say, "Oh, wait, you're pregnant." They get caught off guard. That's amazing. That means you hide it well.
It's funny that, well, it's funny how people like don't notice, but I
Yeah.
feel like like
Well, you're hiding it well, probably.
I'm getting to this point where it's like, oh, I'm slowing down. I am slowing down. So I'm ready to have a
Yeah.
baby and kind of rest for a little bit. So
Early
actually,
July.
Yeah, early July. I'm
right?
already people are making plans with me and I have to be like, "No, I don't think I'll be available."
Oh
So
yeah,
I'll be in labor.
yeah. And so then when June 19th, you're gonna step away.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
June
think
19th.
June's going out of town, right?
June 19th.
So
Yeah,
Carol and I are going to co-host, and then that'll probably be my last one that I for sure can
be
attend.
here. Okay,
You
yeah,
know?
and then it'll only be a few weeks, and then she'll be back.
Yeah, I
So
have got I have 4 different baby carriers,
wow.
and not to mention, I want to be on the podcast. Like
Yes.
that brings me joy.
Yes, it's fun, right?
Yeah,
We get to
dude.
have the interviews, have fun, and it started off really small, but the thing is, Natron, who his background is in podcast, but it seems like highly produced.
Yeah. That's the thing about the podcast studio and like people being able to use it is we have a well produced podcast.
Yeah,
Like Natron does such a beautiful job of making it look so professional. Like the clips that you get from these podcasts, like you can use them for years
yeah,
and you look like
like
a
an
pro.
expert,
You look like an expert.
expert.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of which, the podcast is opening up um, the first week in June.
Woo.
Contact us. Let's set up a
That's next
podcast.
week.
That's next week. And here's the thing too: is you can be a guest on our podcast. We can be a guest on your podcast. What happens is our 14,000 followers become your followers. Your followers become our followers. There's no competition. Let's collaborate. So, again, if you want Lisel or myself or both of us to be on your podcast, reach out. Um, Mostly her, though, because I've kind of done enough podcasts, but I'm more than happy to be on a podcast to help. But be on ours. We want to tell the story. We're pretty much doing 2 to 3 a week. We're probably going to ramp that up once the studio's open. Just
Right.
so we'll see where that goes. But I'm excited. This is going to be an amazing 2026. We're going to
It's
have a
so
new
fun.
baby.
It's so fun.
Yes.
I don't know. Something about, well, for me, the major changes started happening when I moved back to San Diego.
Ooh,
I was
yeah.
like, missing something in LA and everything I wanted in my real life, like I got here in San
And
Diego.
that's the thing. I still remember the first time I met her at Market Space. I distinctly remember because it's smaller. You can remember we were by the refrigerator unit and we were talking and we were talking about Nick McCoy. Thank you for
Solid.
referring Lisel. She came and great conversation. Funny, she's comic relief for this podcast, and then she just kept attending, and then when I needed a replacement, it was like boom, perfect.
Fit perfectly. I think also though, like I saw the realness of the group and
Yeah,
it was like, oh, this is not networking.
no,
This is just a group of supportive friends and I want to see them more often. So
yes,
I mean, there was a time when I would only come like every other week, once a month, blah blah blah, but I kept showing up,
yeah,
and then
consistency.
you end up
Good things
getting the
happen.
business because you create more relationships, create
Yeah.
more friendships. You were talking about like two people have,
Found
found
love. Love.
here at the group.
Oh,
It's like you never know what you're gonna find when you're consistent. Something good,
I
probably.
don't. Again, I don't know if I should out this, but they're talking marriage already.
Adorable.
Both of them.
Adorable.
I mean,
I know one couple. I don't know the second.
Hey, so I've been an officiant before. So if you want to do a Feel Good Friday wedding, I'll officiate.
I could see a wedding
Right?
being here.
We can
at
do
Fox
one.
Point.
So for any of you that are looking for love, come here.
Dude.
The group is whatever you want it to be for you. I say that
Yeah.
over and over and over again because we keep seeing it. But if you want love, you might find your forever here.
I know we talk about like singles events, but how fun would that be if we did like a red light, green light, yellow light here on a Feel Good Friday?
Oh.
Or would that be like overstepping? You guys
Just call me.
comment below.
Yeah.
Vote if you think that would be appropriate or inappropriate.
Yeah,
Comment below.
it
But
could be,
Could be
yeah.
cool.
We got to figure out though how to even out the male female ratio
Oh,
because
buddy.
it's mostly females
Yeah.
and Lee. But I think we're gonna get there. We're gonna announce it next week. Melanie Scott is gonna talk about it. We're gonna do a Q&A about because here's the thing: men and women, we think differently. Absolutely, we think differently. Like the messaging, contact, what to say, how to say it, interpretation, and then it like two different sides. So the thing is, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create kind of a coaching group for singles where they can ask Melanie, the guys, and even the women, to be honest, the guys can ask questions that they've been afraid to ask women. And so maybe that'll help bridge that gap of like, I know guys are like, well, I don't want to seem too eager, so I won't text for a few days. Women don't like that,
Pissed.
right?
Actually, one of my girlfriends who is a lesbian texted me to be like, this woman I had a great date with hasn't texted me.
See?
Is it because she's 40 years old? And I was like, okay, so it's even a lesbian thing.
Yeah.
But no, I told her, I was like,
Right.
that would piss me off.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter who it is. If you're a millennial or a Gen Zer, you want freaking text messages.
Yeah. You want a response. You know, if somebody, and that's what I get a lot of. People are like, yeah, you know, I'm like, hey, how's that date going? They said amazing. And then a couple of days later, I'm like, hey, how did it go? It's like, well, he hasn't texted me back. I'm like, you idiot.
I know. They're too cool.
Just
or they
text back. Don't overthink things. If you feel like texting someone, text them.
Yeah.
Like, just honestly, go with your feelings. Don't overthink it. Get out of here. Go here. Text. Ask the questions. Be honest. Don't try to be something else.
You want to know what happened with Greg and I, my baby daddy and life partner? He asked me to dinner, and I was so caught.
That's not normal now.
That's not normal. He was my patient, and he came back into the office to be like, I want to take you to dinner. And I was so caught off guard that I was like, okay.
Well, here's the thing. Well, I want to give him props. You know how scary that is to do that? For somebody to go to a practitioner, see them, in which, you know, typically it's like a practitioner is going to be nice to you regardless, to read into that and be like, hey, would you like to go out? That, Greg, ballsy.
I know.
Good
and
job.
Trust me, I've told him this plenty of times. Like, I didn't know it was a date, but just the fact that he asked, I was like, okay. And it's almost better when you have a little bit of a relationship. He was already coming to my office for about a month. So something like the group, you've seen these people for, a couple of weeks at a time. It's like, just ask. Like, do you want to get coffee? Do you want to go to dinner or whatever?
Right.
For me, I'm old fashioned. It has to be dinner. I'm not a coffee date, like going a walk date person. It's like you have to show this is like a.
Well, the thing about coffee too, there's really no commitment in it, because you can. That's the problem. Is like I feel like people nowadays, they don't have that commitment, so it's tough to like be vulnerable, because coffee, you can bail on a coffee anytime. If you grab a drink, even you can have one drink, like I don't like it, you bail. There's no commitment.
Yeah.
Where at least at dinner, all right, you got to sit down. You actually have to have a conversation. You got to have a drink, and then from there, then it can expand. Well, hey, would you like to go dance? Would you like to go, wherever afterwards? Yeah, dinner. It's traditional.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, traditional. Sometimes just like traditional stuff works. There's a reason for it.
So we're gonna create, how we have 8,000 people. We're gonna also create just love, right?
Aww.
We're gonna create couples. They're gonna get married. They're gonna be happily married. They're gonna have the mom's group. They're gonna have the dad's group. It's gonna be everything, because everybody's looking for community, but everyone's looking for self-improvement. That's what you find at the group. So don't overthink it. You can find love. You can find business.
Just do it.
You can find your purpose here.
Totes.
So I love this background.
I know, right?
It almost looks like a Zoom fake background.
I wish. No, this is real life, buddy.
It is. The Hatch. And then don't forget, the Hatch Studios. We're opening a podcast studio here too.
That
Hatch
I'm excited.
Studios. It's going to be fun. It's going to be the wellness center in the back with the podcast studio. Yeah.
Things are happening.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's going to be perfect timing for the baby.
Exactly.
So, I mean, as the baby grows, the group will grow, Fox Point Farms will grow, people will personally grow, businesses will grow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like just getting started, really.
Yeah. Let's go. I hear the music. Ready to go have lunch with Greg. Have a good time. I still have a coffee set up, but I may end up canceling it. I don't know. So if you're watching this, sorry, I might have to cancel. Depends on how the lunch goes with Greg.
They go long.
Typically what ends up happening is I'm going to have to cancel. But so we'll see. Yeah.
Cool. Well, there's always next week.
There's always next week. Maybe. We'll find time.
Cool.
Reach out, thegroupcoastal.com. Sign up as a member. Sign up as a speaker.
We're starting at 9 a.m. now.
9 a.m. Melanie Scott.
Yeah.
Our ambassador fun. You're going to get that's only 10 minutes, and we're going to start the fun a little early, and we're going to finish 10:10. I love that. Let's do this.
We needed the extra 10 minutes. Because everybody wants to, share
It was
so
perfect.
much.
Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you, Fox Point Farms. Thank you, Lisselle.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the community committee, for the suggestions. we're gonna grow together. Anything and
Cool.
everything is possible.
Yippee!